Hello, it's Georgia here, and this is the next project for our October 2020 virtual art retreat, My Strength and My Help, being run through my Facebook group, God's Refrigerator. Thank you for joining me. This is the journal kind of category of the retreat. We tend to do 3 major projects and a tag, and one of those projects is always something journaly. So I've decided to make a kind of, as usual, I don't have a name for it. I'm sort of tongue-in-cheek calling it my homework book. I'm going to make a sort of an art journal, and I'm still making this up as I go, so this could be interesting. But I think you all know that song. I sing it every month. I'm making it up as I go, but in my head I have an idea of an art journal that will have mainly blank pages, but will have some pockets in it, because I want to use this journal for two main purposes. One of them being kind of special occasions, so to speak. Things that might happen that I need to journal in, but that I don't want to actually put straight into my Bible, or that my Bible page has already been painted. We know that story. So I thought, have a separate art journal for that. And also, and only some of you will get this, Lydia certainly will, I think. Every now and then I get given homework, and I want to use this journal as my homework book. Hence me tongue-in-cheek calling it my homework book. So what I'm going to do is, if anybody has joined in my Facebook Live of, I'm playing Back to the Future now because it hasn't happened yet, but by the time this is published, it will have happened. So if anyone has been to my Facebook Live of Saturday, the 24th of October, I believe, the 24th of October, where we made a stationery booklet, I'm sort of going on that idea, sort of, to begin with. I'm going to use that as a kind of rough plan, but I'm going to build on it. So what I'm going to use is, I'm starting for the cover. I am using this Simple Stories Faith collection, because this is only single-sided pages. And when we did the live project, the stationery booklet, I did suggest, and I used myself, double-sided pages, because I wanted patterns on both sides and on the flaps. But because I am actually going to be using this as an art journal and I want some blank pages, I really just wanted the design for the cover. So I think this will work very well. Now I'm going to use this page, which I love. I think this will make a brilliant cover. Oh dear. So I've started off by already ruining it. So we're going to have to fix that. I kind of ripped the top of it as I tore it out of the pad because I was not paying attention. That's okay, because what do we say? Washi tape fixes everything. So, and I'm thinking, like, this is nice because it's pretty, it's got a pattern, but it's not too busy. So if I want to decorate it, this book has actually got a lot of cut apart pages. So I might end up using one of these cut aparts and putting it on the cover, because there's some really great little pictures and quotes, and just, yeah, that's pretty. We'll see, because there's so many to choose from. Too much choice is sometimes not a good thing. So I don't need to cut this up because it's already 12 by 12. So what I'm going to do is I am going to score it, making sure it's upright, of course. I am going to score it at 6 inches, so that this is basically, it's the halfway point. So that will be the cover and a page. And then turning it 90 degrees, I am going to score it at 9 inches. So my pages are basically going to be 6 by 9 inches. And this with the other one. That's the one I ripped, but that's okay. I will fix that later. Everything's fixable. So once again, 6 inches, 9 inches. Then what I will do, get rid of this. So this gets folded up like this on the inside, and here I will have front cover, and back cover. And in between, we're going to have all sorts of pages with pockets that are going to get stuck on. The first and last pages will actually have these pockets that I can slide things in. So I can actually paint, draw, whatever on the blank part and put something in here. And this is why I wanted to do something with pockets and slidey holes and things like that, because it's not going to be an art journal where I'm just going to journal something and that's it. I'm actually going to keep sort of memorabilia kind of things in here as well. So when I've done the first page, you'll understand, because I have something that I want to keep. So what I'm going to do also is, you can just leave this like that. It's absolutely fine. Once you've sort of stuck your whole book together, it does sort of stay as 2 separate pockets, even though this is open. But just for a little bit more strength and to keep it separate, I'm going to take out my sewing machine, and I won't film this because it's too boring to watch. I'm going to take out my sewing machine and I'm just going to sew down this little centre bit here and there. So here are my covers, and I've sewn these little bits down the centre, so I'll have my 2 pockets there. Now what I've done is I have grabbed myself some pieces of 12 by 12 inch white cardstock. Now I'm using Peon brand, and this color is called Peon White #1. Now you don't have to use white, but I'm using white because I'm going to be painting on it, so I don't see the point of using a color. Now what I've done is I've actually grabbed 6 sheets, and I have cut 3 of them at 12 inch by 9 inch. So they are the same width and height as my little booklet without the pockets. So basically what I've done is I've cut this piece off, and I've scored them down the center so they're easy to fold. And then the other 3 I have cut 9 inches tall, but I've actually cut them a little bit shorter on the across length, on the across measurement. I've cut them a little bit shorter across, so they're not 12 inches, they're 11 inches across. Reason for that is that what I want to do is stick them like this, so that this page here will actually, I won't stick this side down, so it will actually have a little pocket on the side, and I'll be able to access the pocket a little bit easier. I'm really hoping that makes sense. And I have also grabbed 2 more sheets of single-sided paper. I did not want to waste any more of my Simple Stories pad because that's really good quality paper, and this is actually going to be stuck so that you're not going to see the main section. I just wanted the little pocket, so I've just grabbed a couple of just from my stash, and again I have left these as 12 by 12, but I've scored the halfway mark at 6 inches, and I've scored it down at the 9 inch mark so that I can fold over this flap here to make 2 pockets, fold it in half, and it's the size of my notebook. Now of course you don't have to use 12 by 12 inch paper like I have. You can adjust this to any size that you like. I just like this size because it's a little bit bigger than the usual art journals that I make, so it's going to give me a lot of space to actually paint my pages. So what I've done then is I've put them in order. So I'm going to have my covers. So I have my front cover and my back cover. Then I have put one of the full width pages, one of the shorter width pages. So I've got my little pocket there. another full width, so I'll have pockets on both sides here. Then I've got the two with the little pockets at the bottom. Then I've got one of the shorter across ones, if that makes sense, so that I'll have a little pocket on the side there. Full length, so I've got pocket here. That will just be, I might be putting something on these pages that don't have the side pockets. We'll come back to that, but I might have some sort of little flat thing, something. I'm still making this up. Then one of the shorter ones again, so I have a little pocket area here, and then back to the cover. So that will be like this as well. So what I'm going to do is, starting from the very front of the notebook, I'm just going to use double-sided tape for this, because I think this will be good enough. I'm using Express It tape, which sticks really, really well. So I think this will be a good enough tape to use for my journal. I know I'm going to be using this a lot, and I know I normally say I don't use double-sided tape for things that I'm carrying around and using heaps because I don't trust it, basically. But this is going to be used a lot, but it's not one of those things that I'm going to carry every day, so it will just live at home. And also the fact that I'm just sticking flat paper to flat paper rather than dimensional stuff means that it won't have so much of a problem. Or be really, really careful when you do this, that you have got things the right way up. I'm talking away. Make sure you've got your cover the right way up. Okay. And I don't think I mentioned this. Be really aware of the pattern you choose, because I've chosen this lovely love heart pattern, but when I fold it over the flap, the hearts are upside down. Normally that would freak me out and I'd be saying I can't use this, but I'm going to end up covering these anyway. I think, like, I know for a start, the first page I'm doing, I actually have something half planned in my head, and there is going to be something stuck here. So I'm not really worrying too much about the upside down hearts at the moment. But yeah, be careful what pattern you choose, because you might end up with that sort of situation where you have something upside down. And if you're like me and you go, oh, no, 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 no. Okay, so I'm just lining that up. I've only taken the backing off one of the tapes so that I can line it up. And when it's fine, then I'll take the others off and stick the whole thing. Now, I will not bore you by filming me sticking all these pages together. Just be aware that when you stick this one that has the little side pocket, I am only going to put tape on 3 sides so that the outside here will remain open and I'll be able to stick things in there. So here they are all stuck together. So I have my cover. First page has got the 2 pockets. Now what I'm going to do as I go through is I'm just going to put a very, very small amount of glue just on the outside there to hold that pocket down. And same on this side as well. So just a very thin line just along the edge. And that closes the side of the pocket. Now just put a few little clips to hold, whoops, to hold it as we go, so it has a chance to dry nicely as we're looking through the book. Thanks, Lydia, using your clips. Okay, so the next page is just plain full-size pages. Then the next page we've got a little pocket on the side there because of the fact that this page is not as wide. There's a pocket on that side as well. Then another full-size double page. Then we have this page with the pockets at the bottom, so I'm going to glue the edge there. Give that a couple of clips. I am going to run out of clips, but by then the front ones will be dry. Same here, a little bit of glue. Oops, forgot the other side. There's a little bit of glue on this one as well. There we go. My clips can kill two birds with one stone. Two birds with two clips. Okay, and this one here. So once you sort of get into factory production line mode with this, you just stick, and it's quite quick to put together. So there's a side pocket on this one, and side pocket there. Full size page, side pocket, and then back to our cover with the little bottom pockets on the last two pages. I have run out of clips. I'm going to take them off the first page because that'll be dry by now. Art glitter glue dries really fast. Okay, now you don't have to do the same configuration that I have. You can, rearrange yours however you like them. You don't have to have the side pockets or the bottom pockets or any of the things I've done. You could just do this with just, full-size pages. I just thought it would be fun to have something that I can put special bits in, because like I said, I'm already planning my first page and I've got stuff that I want to keep that I don't actually want to stick on the journal page. Okay, so now we just need to make a spine. Now for the spine, what you'll need to do is cut a piece of paper that coordinates with your cover, the same length as your book. So mine is 9 inches. And then you'll need to measure it so that it's as wide as you want your spine to be. So I wanted mine to be 3/4 inches. So 1.5 inches for that side plus that side. But you also need to measure the width of your book. In my case, it's 1/2 inch. So I've added 1/2 inch to that. So I've made mine 2 inches. I've then scored it 3/4 inch from each side. So I've got 3/4 inches, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. And when I fold it, it actually makes this perfectly sized spine for my book, which covers the, the spiny side bit. So I'm doing this late at night, this bit. So I'm actually going to use wet glue this time, because this is the crucial holding together part of my book. Now I'm just going to put glue on one bit to start with, and once I know I've got that aligned really well, then I'll glue the rest. Now you may find that one end of your book is thicker than the other end because of the fact that we have those pockets at the bottom, and I'm sure I'm going to speak about that tomorrow morning when I do the live. So yeah, Back to the Future again. If you've watched the live a week ago, I'm sure I spoke about it. I hope I did. Now I am only going to, I'm going to put some glue here. I'm just sort of wondering what's going to happen over time when I use the book and it expands. So I'm not worrying too much, because things might move down that center spine, but I am going to, of course, glue the front and back really, really well. So if the center bits move a little bit as the book gets thicker and stuff gets added to it, that's okay. It's got room to move, but the front and back are stuck really well, so it won't come apart. And this is where the big giant bulldog clips come in handy. Thank you so much, Lydia. You have saved me here, because I don't actually have any giant ones myself. I keep forgetting to get some. So I'm just going to let that sit, and I think I'm actually going to let it sit overnight so it has a chance to dry really, really well before I cover or decorate the cover. So we'll be back. Right, so we have little book all finished. Now, some of the pages have these pockets. some of the pages have these side slip-end pockets. Now some of the pages have nothing, and I'm not going to add anything right now because I'm not quite sure what these pages are going to be used for. So as I come in and paint, art, journal, whatever the pages, then I will decide whether I want a tip-in type of addition or something else. I'll see. So watch this space, or come over to my Facebook group, God's Refrigerator, and as I create these pages, I will share what I'm doing. If I do something really fancy-pantsy, then I'll make a video of how I do the whatever it is that I do. We'll find out. It's always a work in progress. Now, because this was kind of done, you know, a little bit under pressure and blah, 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 I won't go on with my excuses. It's not completely perfect. Like some of these pages are, you know, they're not aligned properly, especially here. Now, if yours ends up looking like this and you don't like that look, you can go in and trim the edges of all your pages so that they are perfect, like a, you know, a perfectly bought book. I'm certainly not doing that. I quite like that shabbiness look, and I know that once I go in creating in all the pages, things are going to be all over the place and sticking out, and the book's going to get thicker and more used. So I'm not worrying about that non-perfection. Now to decorate the cover, and I am aware of still having that raggedy bit up here where I accidentally tore the paper when I took it off the pad, but it's not actually as bad as I thought. I might at one point put some washi tape along the top, we'll see. Now to decorate, I'm keeping it really, really simple because the main purpose is the actual pages of the journal, not the cover. But I have cut out this quote from the same paper pad as the cover page, which is The Simple Stories Faith. And what I'm doing is I'm just using the blade of my scissors to distress all the way around it. I kind of thought the quote was appropriate for the purpose of the book, so in a funny sort of way. Yeah, here she goes again. I'm not going to share it because, you know, it's a public YouTube video. I don't go all TMI in these videos. You want TMI? Come to the group. I get all TMI over there. Okay, so just distressing around the edges because I want to break up that same color, if you know what I mean. I could have matted it on a piece of white card, but I did not want that stark sort of, you know, scrapbooking kind of look. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and I often do that, but this particular journal, because it's kind of like, it's handmade and it's going to have, you know, like my heart over all the pages, I kind of wanted it to be kind of shabby and, you know, a bit like me. Rough around the edges. Okay, and I'm going to use my wet glue to stick that on because, yeah, I think I've said it in other videos. Happy with the double-sided tape to hold the flat pages together, but when it comes to the actual decorating and things that are dimensional and can move around a bit and are exposed to, you know, things on the outside, I do like the wet glue. Now what I've done is I wanted a little bit of ribbon, and I've pulled out, because, you know, I keep everything, I pulled out this fabric that I have because, you know, everything has meaning, right? And I have pulled out this fabric, which used to be my favorite dress that I wore all the time until it started, you know, coming undone. And I've pulled a strip of that, I've cut off a strip of that and tied it into a bow. And I am going to just stick that on there. So there's, oh, do I like that side? Do I like that side? I like this side. Okay, so yeah, there's, you know, there's a whole lot of meaning, as always. A lot of secret meaning and stuff going on and da-da-da. Okay, so there we go. So I am just going to put a tiny bit here just to force the direction that these bits of ribbon or bits of fabric are going to take. So I want it to stick down there. Okay, and now I'm going to just leave that dry for a while because being fabric, it does tend to take a while for the glue to set. With the ribbon all dried, book is basically finished. I don't really want to add too much more to it now, but I have pulled out, because yeah, I don't want to add too much more, but I can't help myself. I have pulled out this sticker book from Simple Stories that that coordinates with that Faith collection. This is actually supposed to be planner stickers, but I use them for all sorts of other things. And there aren't that many left. I have been using these over the past couple of years so much. But there is this page full of quotes and words and lines, and I wanted to use... Okay, so I saw this line and I thought it would be absolutely perfect to put on this. Turn your life over to God and be amazed. So I am going to pull that off, and before I stick it on, I'm just going to... I've grabbed my fossilized amber distress oxide ink because I thought it was a good color to go with the spine, and I'm going to just ink around the edge of this sticker, just so I don't have this very stark line of a white sticker on my dark blue background. That sort of breaks it up a little bit. And of course I'm getting more on my fingers than I am on the edge of the sticker. And I'm just going to stick it down here. Okay, it's as straight as it's getting. And I think I will also, while I'm at it, just do a little bit of inking around the edges of my cover. And just along those, the creases of the spine there. You could do this to all the pages as well if you wanted to, but because I'm going to be painting over them or arting them in some form, I don't really see the point of doing that because it'll just be covered. But on the outside cover, absolutely, that's what I'm doing. I could have done that around this, but too late now. Okay, so that is all. I could keep going and I could add some more phrase stickers on the back, or I could put a picture on the back, but I'm just going to leave it like this because this book is really just the carrier of what's going to be happening inside it. It's not the main, well, you know, it's our main project, yes, of course, but the actual cover of the book is not the thing that I'm focusing on. So I'm leaving it like that. You can add more things to it. You can decorate it, you know, heaps and heaps. You can put flowers and all sorts of things. You could decorate, put things on the back. I would not make the back dimensional because, you know, you want it to be able to sit. But you could put more cut aparts or pictures, stamping, whatever on the back. I'm leaving mine blank. So that's it. So this is our journal type project for this month's October 2020 art retreat, My Strength and My Help, being run through my Facebook group, God's Refrigerator. Please come along and join us. If it's still the last couple of days of October through to the 1st of November, retreat is still running. All you need to do is join the group and go over to the events and you will find all our retreats there. And if you make one of these, please come along, share it and show us all your finished journal. Now I will be, over time, filling these pages. I'll be sharing them in the group. Whether or not I do YouTube videos, who knows, depends on what's going on. So thank you very much for joining me and have a wonderful day. Bye.